Hmm. Good morning. Good morning.
Good morning. We're on lesson 214. Sis has volunteered to take it for us. Thanks, Sis.
I am not a body. I am free, for I am still as God created me. And this will be a review. Of lesson 194 as well. I place the future in the hands of God. The past is gone. The future is not yet. Now am I freed from both. For what God gives can only be for good. And I accept but what He gives as what belongs to me. I am not a body, I am free, for I am still as God created me.
And let's change that word but into only the way that you always do. So that second part is for what God gives can only be for good, and I accept only what He gives as what belongs to me.
That feels much, much better.
Doesn't it? Yeah.
Thank you.
Only the inheritance that He gives do we accept. Okay.
Thank you. Yeah. I place the future in the hands of God. Now, in this very moment, I am as God created me. I am only as God created me in this very moment. What does that mean? That means I am wholly innocent. Just feel into that. In this very moment, I am wholly innocent. If I am wholly innocent, if I accept this innocence, then I must be wholly invulnerable. I must be immune to everything the ego has projected to attack me. I must be. Okay? Because I'm changelessly innocent. I am wholly invulnerable. God only knows me as completely whole, as spotlessly innocent. I am as God created me. That's what that means. My future mirrors only what I am willing to accept about myself in this very moment. So feel into that too. My future mirrors to me what I feel or what I believe about myself right now.
Yeah. Yeah. That's.
Yes?
Well, I was just talking to a sister this morning about a point that Jesus makes again and again in the Course, that we're always, whether we're aware of it or not, we're turning within before we look out.
Yeah.
And when we turn within, it's that what am I or who am I? And based on that answer, the world literally just takes its cue from that answer and reflects back, mirrors back to us our desire, because that's the way that the seeming world works. So if I am the mythical me, I'm guilty, and the world shows me a fearful world where it attacks randomly. But if I am innocent, then the world mirrors back to me my invulnerability, my safety. It it shines the love that comes with the felt state of innocence back. The whole world is your friend.
Right. That's it, sis. And what that translates to um, is literally is that my future
Mhm.
depends on my present peace.
Yeah. So you can guarantee that your future will be like the present peace that you're experiencing now. There's nothing to fear in the future.
Yeah, because only the holy self
Mhm.
rests in the peace of God in every moment. And only the ego is concerned about its future because it is, or it believes it's guilty.
Right. Right. Deserving of punishment.
So it anticipates
Mm-hmm.
a future very much like its past.
Exactly.
Okay, so, and because the ego is guilt incarnate,
Mm-hmm.
it is actually the attraction of punishment. So any fear we have coming from the ego, we look within, and if we identify as the mythical me, the ego, we're going to be worried about our future because we do believe we're guilty and therefore deserving of punishment. So we anticipate punishment. And then we go into planning how to defend ourselves from the certain punishment we believe we deserve.
Right. So ego identification really just takes the past and the future and dovetails them beautifully so that we're just always on a continuum of fear. And there's no way to dissect it or stop the madness until we're willing to accept our innocence, the opposite, that we're
Well,
not the ego. We're not a body.
yeah, but isn't that an ingenious way
Oh, totally.
from the ego to block us
Mhm.
from realizing and accepting our innocence,
Yes.
our invulnerability?
Lifetimes. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So, like you said, sis, before before we interact with the world, we look within and we agree on who we are or what we are. We're either the ego, the mythical me, or we're the holy self.
Yeah.
And we're still as God created us, right? So in every now moment that I stay true to my holy self, the Christ within, I am wholly free of fear, of the ego's illusory threats from my future.
Right.
Yeah.
And that's what we don't need to plan.
We don't need to be, so I cannot be touched by them. So we don't need to plan. That's right. That's a defense against God planning. Yeah.
Yes, planning mind.
So in every now moment that I am present in my awareness, without fear, without believing fear, I might be tempted by fear.
Mm-hmm.
But if I can stay present to my holy self as God created me, then I won't take the hook. I won't take the temptation of fear. Because any moment that I'm fearful, this is what I'm doing myself. In any moment that I am tempted to believe the fear, is a moment that I am condemning myself as opposite to God. Does that make sense?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. It's like I can really touch it now.
Mm-hmm.
It's not a nebulous mass. I
Mm-hmm.
can touch it in that moment. When I've fallen for the temptation to believe in fear, I've just condemned myself as believing that I must be opposite to God.
Right.
Why else would I be fearful?
Yeah. Yeah. God's not here. God's absent. I've really separated, and the fear that invokes. and the punishment that beckons. And let's not forget that the end of that being that's always fearful and trying to defend against an uncertain future is death.
And there's been a lot of that in the last few thousand years, yeah? Millions years? Millions of years, yes?
Millions.
A lot of death.
So the access point to our incorruptible innocence cannot be experienced if we are thinking of the past, idolizing the past, or planning and defending against this uncertain future, planning for the future or defending ourselves against potholes and threats that we have projected into this future timeline, right? Mm-hmm. It's here now. Such an important practice to be present right here, right now. This is the only place of the intersection where we can feel, receive the Holy Spirit and have and receive the felt state that you're pointing to. Your incorruptible innocence is only available to you as a felt state in the now moment. And if your mind's somewhere along the contingent timeline, that just makes sure that you'll never know your innocence. So let's be wiser than the ego and see how it operates and remember, where am I?
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
That's it.
Yeah.
That is it. I love this paragraph 3. In no one instant is depression felt. Speaking about the instant of presence, real, mindful, felt presence of the Holy Self, of our incorruptible innocence. In that moment, in that instant, depression cannot be felt. Mm-hmm. So he says, in no one instant is depression felt or pain experienced or loss perceived. In no one instant, sorrow can be set upon a throne and worshipped faithfully. In no one instant can one even die. That's big.
Massive. Yes.
So what he's actually saying here is that if I am wholly present as the Holy Self, the Christ, and I accept my sinlessness, my incorruptible innocence fully, I cannot die.
That's right.
That's what he's saying, is it not?
Yes, that's exactly what he's saying. And death is a decision that a fearful mind makes. And so when you are fully present and fully, wholly accepting your incorruptible innocence, the love that comes in drives out any remnant of fear. You can't access fear from the place that you're talking about.
Yeah.
So the fearful mind isn't present to choose death. You're no longer a body moving along the timeline. You are mind, you are present, you are here now, and the body is just an instrument, not even in your present awareness unless you need it to do something. That mind doesn't choose death because it knows it's not a body and it's not trying to opt out of some fearful dream. Yeah, that's it right there, sis.
Thank you.
Not so hard to overcome death when you recognize what it is. You're not the body. It's not a natural and inevitable part of life. There's no life in the body. You're mind. You are mind. Are you present?
So the choosing of death is the absence of our holy self.
That's it.
In our mind, in our awareness at that point.
It's our attempt to keep it completely out of our awareness. Our big tada over the threat of love.
But in any moment, we can accept atonement and switch the whole lot, right? Turn it around.
Yes, please do that today.
Yeah.
That's what time is for. That's the only purpose of time.
Beautiful.
What worry can beset the one who gives his future to the loving hands of God? What can he suffer? What can cause him pain or bring experience of loss to him? What can he fear? And what can he regard except with love? There you go. That really encapsulates what you were just saying.
Mm. Beautiful. Yep. You are but asked to let the future go and place it in God's hands, and you will see by your experience that you have laid the past and present in his hands as well, because the past will punish you no more. I love that.
Yeah.
The past will punish you no more, and future dread will now be meaningless. Yes, very good.
Something
Okay, I
popped
place
up,
the future. Go on, sis.
something that was popped up just now, and it was so helpful for myself to recognize when I give the past over to Holy Spirit and allow Holy Spirit to just look back, even I know that it doesn't exist, but if there were potholes along the way or memories that bring distress, um, that I look upon it with Holy Spirit and I give it over to Holy Spirit, not only will Holy Spirit heal my perception in my mind, but will also erase all seeming effects from the past. Because there's a part of our mind that says, well, that really happened. And although I'm healing my mind, my relationship with so and so will never be the same again because of what happened. No, that's not true. Actually, the Holy Spirit has the authority with your willingness to whiteboard, erase it, just erase it. So the event never happened, and all the little feelers that seem to spread out from that event causing rifts or damage in the dream are undone completely for everyone that was involved. Isn't that beautiful?
Oh, that's fantastic. And that echoes or ripples out
Yes.
even further, doesn't it?
Yes, it does. Yes. You'll
And
find
it
those that
affects
were.
people. It
Yes,
affects people we don't even know.
that's
That
right.
forgiveness. Thank you.
Quantum forgiveness. If something is truly forgiven, it can have no effect because it's recognized as not having a cause.
Right. To have an effect, you have to have a cause.
That's right.
And so if there is no cause, the effects disappear.
That's right. That's why our only problem is to deal with this belief of separation and recognize that that has no cause. God's answer was no. And that's why all the seeming effects from the separation, bodies and illness and aging and wars and lack and conflict, all of that as effect of this belief in separation are healed when we are willing to forgive the one problem, one solution. And it's just deeply accepting that. It's not making that be true. It's, are you willing to accept that you never separated and that the one that you thought you were has never truly existed? Great humility and courage that takes. But when you do it, the felt experience of your holy self reminds you that we don't exchange everything for nothing. God didn't allow us to do that.
Beautiful.
Mm.
And that is why there is no order of difficulty in miracles.
That's right. We made all that up as an effect of the first lie. That's true.
Okay, I'm ready. I place the future, my future in the hands of God.
I join you there. Let's take a moment. Let's just take 20 seconds. Ready? We're going to just place our future planning, our finances, our bodies, our jobs, our function, everything into the hands of the one who knows and whose will is our greatest joy and satisfaction. You have nothing to lose. So let's join in just putting the future on the altar.
Mm.
Take my life and let it be consecrated, Lord, to thee.
you.
Beautiful, family. Now don't take it back. Okay. Thanks for placing the future into the hands of God with us. Should be
Yeah,
a
thank you. Yeah.
Thanks, everybody. Thanks, Sis. Thanks for that awesome unpacking. You're really taking us to that felt state beyond the words. Thank you so much. Perfect.
Thank you.
Okay. Bye, everybody.